Community organizers, Gary Kleinfelter with Irrigreen is here to present, and it's our pleasure to give Gary a standing ovation, a warm 1 million cup seat of Prairie welcome. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out and braving the cold. Irrigreen is bringing disruptive innovation to irrigation. Let me tell you why. Have you thought about how much money we spend on water in the U.S.? $100 billion. Think about that, $100 billion that we spend on water, and we largely take it for granted. We expect that water just to keep running. It's going to come out of the tap every day, and yet reports would tell us that in our largest 50 cities, we're going to have water problems, not too distant future. Already the rates are going up faster than the rate of inflation. And where's all that water going? It's going on the lawns that we love, our American dream, those green lawns that we get excited about. And you may not realize that we use half of our water outdoors. And the systems that we use today to water our grass are horribly inefficient, sometimes just 30 to 40% efficient. And the reason for that is it's a mechanical system. It's the same technologies they've been using for the last 40 years. Somebody comes out to your home and they handcraft a system that involves with thousands of SKUs, different sprinkler bodies, different nozzle sizes. It's a one-time system for your lawn. Everyone is different. So maybe there's a better way. How could we use software to change this, to make it more efficient, to really have an impact on the water use of these systems? Think about what's happened in other industries, like your film camera turning into a camera in your phone and using Facebook and Snapchat, or Uber. I mean, what a way to change who it means to be a taxi driver today. Well, that's what Irrigreen has done. We've created an automated system for your lawn, starting at the edge with a sprinkler in your lawn that's smart, that waters the landscape shape. We connect that through a wire back to an Irrigreen controller, connect it to the cloud in your phone. We can use your phone to set the system up, program it to the shape of the landscape, and that system cuts water use by 50%. Think about that. 50%. We're having this large amount of water that we're using on our lawns, and we can cut that in half. The reason is these mechanical systems of the past, they overwater, they overspray. They're actually designed to go head to head and water over each other. They put too much water in the middle of the landscape. And of course, they're not very precise. You've all seen that with the water running down the street. What Irrigreen does that's different is we have a patented nozzle design that shoots the water out into the landscape in streams. Think about like the fountains at Bellagio. You know, we're actually putting that water exactly where it's needed. We can program it to the shape of the lawn. We really water from the inside out. It's completely different than the old mechanical systems. And the person that puts it in doesn't have to understand all of the nuances of the different sprinkler types because it's software computed. We have software computed water distribution, just like rainfall. So here you can see the sprinkler in action. You see the streams coming out, larger streams farther away, closer in, you see smaller streams. It follows the edge of the landscape. That's part of the programming you do on the phone. And you can see it makes a nice hairpin turn. Is it going to get around the corner? Is it going to get around the corner? We're good. The great thing about this, besides saving water, though, is it's not more complicated. You'd think about, oh, new technology, it's going to be hard to put in, it's more complicated. Well, actually, it's not. It's much simpler because our one-size-fits-all head goes into the landscape in a place of, 5, 6, 7, 8 traditional heads, and you program it on your phone. You don't have to have all that tribal knowledge of all the different nozzle types and all the different SKUs. That one-size-fits-all head goes in the center of the lawn and you program it with your phone. And think about all the holes you don't have to dig and all the pipe you don't have to lay. It's amazing. We're only 255 feet of pipe, and this system goes in 3 times faster than traditional systems. Think about that. If you're a contractor and you can now do more business because you can be more efficient, putting these systems in much faster. And the price, it's about the same. So we trade off the labor for more expensive parts, but the overall consumer price is very similar. And it's not just me telling you that there's water savings. We've actually got proof. We have done a lab test at the Center for Irrigation Technology, the guru of the irrigation industry, that shows against best-in-class systems that we save 40% in terms of the gallons. And this last summer, we had a gentleman who is really an irrigation guru. He decided to put Irrigreen in place of a best-in-class mechanical irrigation system. Look what happened to his water bills. He goes from the blue bars in 2016 down to the green bars and that's just one lawn. He saved, I think the total now, Ray, is 80,000 gallons. There you go. Think about, so if you want to visualize that, think about you've got a long highway and you've got 5-gallon pails. It's 3 miles worth of 5-gallon pails. That's how much water he saved in one summer. We've got proven traction, over 200 installations in 50 contractors in 20 states, and this is a large market, plenty of room to grow for Irrigreen. And one of the things we've learned in our first 2 years of working through distribution is that we have these water savings and we can sell them. If we look at some of the drier places like Denver and Texas, the actual savings in water per year for a traditional average size home is $1,000. And the system only costs $4,000 or $5,000. Think about that. You'd be crazy to put in solar before you put in an Irrigreen system in terms of the dollar savings. If we all did this throughout the country, we'd actually have $45 billion in water savings in 5 years. That's pretty impactful. And one of the things that we're going to do to drive this in the next year is we're going to start doing some direct marketing. So what I'm saying is we've been out there, we've got distribution, we've got contractors. They don't always scale. It doesn't always translate to lots of installations because they're not used to doing that. They're not used to selling. They usually, it's kind of a referral business. You know, if I want a contractor to put in an irrigation system in my lawn, I go to my neighbor and say, okay, who did you use last? It's really not a sales business. So kind of like Jet Black coming down the street and saying, you know, putting the postcard in the mail, that's what Irrigreen's going to do. So we're going to work with some of our best contractors. We're going to actually sell direct to the homeowner and put the system in. We're also going to include in the first time installation a subscription fee so we can monitor that through the internet. So we're not only say that we're going to save you $5,000 or $1,000 I should say, but we're also going to monitor that system and make sure you get those savings. So that's really exciting because as we go forward, we can actually take those connected customers then and monetize them. So if you can imagine a situation in the future where we have a sensor in a lawn and you need to fertilize your lawn, we can tell you when you need to do that and offer you services like connect with this contractor, give you a deal at Home Depot. So not only are we helping you save water on your lawn, we're connecting with you and helping you enjoy the outside. So while Google, Amazon, and Apple are fighting for the inside of the house, we'll be helping you with the outside. Thank you very much.